to La Ventana!
This little slice of paradise is full of adventure. After living here for 4 months, I'm gonna show you what I would do if I had just 4 days to adventure around La Ventana. First, we're gonna stop at one of my favorite places to get a big, healthy breakfast. This is one of my favorite places in the entire town, and Porter's too. He feels right at home here. The restaurant is nestled in the desert, surrounded by cacti, and the vibe is incredible. The first time we came here at night, it was so beautiful with all the lights glowing, and it has been our favorite spot ever since. Not only because of the atmosphere, but the food.
It's so good. It's still warm. So it's avocado to the next level because it has everything. It's salty, it's sweet, it has bitter, it has crunch, the feta. It's on sourdough bread, which is freshly made here.
Delicious as always. I did order 2 drinks, an extra egg, and a pastry, so it was double the cost that it normally is. Fueled and ready for our first stop.
Turquoise Beach is definitely one of my favorite spots to just come and chill. I like to bring Porter here in the morning for coffee. As you can see, there is nobody around. Just Porter. He's not a fan of the ocean. I don't think he likes the waves, but he tries. Doesn't like when the waves hit him in the face. Real quick, very important to know when driving in Baja, your tire pressure should be at 35 all the time. This dark colored pretty sand, that's for you. This beautiful white sand, not for you. Unless you have big sand tires that you can air down to 10 psi and pump back up when you get back on the road, then that's for you. I've seen way too many cars get stuck.
Like Scotty, who not only got stuck, but also interrupted a wedding. His favorite stop is
the Lighthouse. It is so beautiful. There are usually people here chilling, having beers, having a little party, or fishing. And I always love to bring Porter here. We dig a little hole in the sand for him so he can just kind of chill out, be a little cool. Alright friends, there are a couple of things you should be aware of if you're traveling to Baja California Sur or really anywhere extremely warm. Number 1, shade will save your life. Buy an umbrella for like $20 from the local market. Donate it to somebody when you leave if you don't want it. Buy a hat. Always have a hat. If you are here, drink an electrolyte every single day. You can get them at OXXO anywhere. You should always have a coffee mug. It's super great for keeping your coffee hot, your water cool, and if you really want to have your cooler full of some adult snacks, it keeps your drinks extra cool at the beach. Ooh, look at that deliciousness. Cheers. Water so beautiful and clear here. It reminds me of being on a remote island somewhere.
Places like this remind me of Chichen Itza. When my friend Annie and I went, a random tour guide approached us and taught us how to get all of the best shots. Clearly, I'm a master.
Moments like this really make my heart happy. So the place I'm going to take you to that has the best snorkeling, a lot of people think that you actually can't get to, but if you look here, you can either go straight or you can go to the left here. You want to go to the left, I promise you can go through. Alright, so you will get to this gate. You just wait for the man to open it and then you go straight. Hola! Alright, we'll arrive to an area that looks like you can go to 3 ways, but you're gonna go all the way to the left, and then it's gonna take you up and around. You will get to a spot that looks like this. You can keep going up. There's like a little plateau over here, or you can turn left, and this is where you can go down. There's a bunch of beaches here, all in these little coves that most people think you cannot reach, but you can drive down this hill very easily, even in a 2-wheel drive. I'm really shocked. I don't know if you can see in the video or not, but there is actually somebody down there with a vehicle, and I'm super surprised because nobody is ever here, ever. There are 2 reasons how I found this place. Number 1 is just per typical Ashley. Anytime I'm in a new country, place, town, anything, I like to drive down roads that I have never been down before. I have no idea where I'm going, but you never know what you're gonna find. And it's also a great way that I find places to capture shots of the Milky Way. And the second reason was going out on all of these ocean safaris. We were always staring at like all of these houses. I don't know if you can see all of these houses here on the coast, and this whole spot here is totally flat, so it's a big plateau. And I'm like, okay, well, if there's houses, there's got to be a road, there has to be access. And everybody that I talked to said, no, there's no way to get out there, it's totally private. That is why all of the shark fishermen, they come to these bays here and they cut up all of the sharks there because nobody can access them. They have pure privacy to kind of do their job. And I was just like, nah, I'm gonna find a way. So I did. And the shark fishing thing is a whole topic, and I really want to share more details with that with you guys. Obviously it's bad for sharks, it's bad for the ocean, but there are a lot of really amazing people in this town doing really cool things, and you can actually be a part of it and make a difference. But first, I'm gonna take you to my final favorite snorkeling spot that has puffers, and then we're gonna go to lunch.
Welcome to Bay of the Dead, also called Bay of Dreams, but I prefer Dead because that's the original name. I love to come here early afternoon, right as the fishermen are getting back. They will throw all of their scraps out. It's the perfect time to catch all these cuties enjoying a nice meal. It's actually really amazing. How many puffers do you think you're looking at right now? It has been a full day of adventure. Beach hopping, swimming, snorkeling, sun, sand, and the perfect way to end it is right here at the restaurant with a mezcalita, some delicious food, and really just soak up these beautiful views.
Hola!
The best stuffed potato ever.
But you must try some mezcal, mezcalita. If you don't know, you should.
And that wraps up the first day. 3 beaches, breakfast, lunch, tons of adventure and fun. If you still have energy, I highly recommend getting a mountain or e-bike and going through one of the many trails, and then rest, relax, and grab some dinner at San Siro. Best pizza. Today we are at Chilo Chill, and I think it is the perfect place for solo travelers, couples, group of friends to come chill. They have a little glamping set up, and you can get a day pass for 400 pesos, and that applies to your consumption. So if you order breakfast, lunch, or dinner, the 400 that you paid goes towards the food, and if you spend over the 400 pesos, then you have to pay a little bit more, but it's perfect. They have kayaks, paddle boards, shade, a ton of seating, and these views. Honestly, these are some of the best chilaquiles I've had in all of La Ventana. Even if you don't come here for the day pass, come here for the breakfast. 100%. We spent the entire day resting, relaxing, chilling. I even got to finish a book that I had been trying to finish for so many weeks. If you're into kite surfing or you want to try, there's actually rentals right on site and an instructor available if you would like to take a couple of lessons. It's such a beautiful spot. And then we went swimming. This is how we swim now. Water's so old, he doesn't want to swim in the water anymore. So I have to hold him like a baby. But he is a baby. You think that? Okay. We got you. Chilo Chill is the perfect way to rest and relax because on day 3, I highly recommend you get out on the sea for an ocean safari. The Sea of Cortez is the most exhilarating ocean I have had the honor to explore. And I want you to have the best time out on the sea, which is why I recommend 3 companies. Number 1, Baja Wild Encounters, run by Jamie, and number 2, Apex Ocean Divers, run by Alex, and lastly, Uncharted Expeditions, run by Dan.
So on your very last day in paradise, I highly recommend you get up for sunrise, drive to the end of the road, go past the end of the road to find
the hot springs. Such a fabulous way to spend the morning after a full day out on the ocean.
This looks epic, so I'm going to fly the drone really quick, and I want to show you a smidge of these mountain biking trails that are they're just insane.
Ventana is such an incredible place. There is so much to fill up your schedule, and there's so much that I did not even cover in this video because, as most of you know, I am a creature of the sea. I don't do many land-based activities, but one thing I highly recommend doing is checking out a scooter tour with Black Urchin. You are, of course, welcome to go wherever you wish on your scooter tour, but I highly recommend taking a trip out to the Bufadora around sunset time. It is so beautiful. One of my favorite spots. Just below on the beach, there are these natural fire pits, so bring some firewood with you, bring some friends, maybe some beers, and just chill, enjoy the sunset, the good vibes, friends, and the views. And as always, be careful in the Baja sand. It is no joke. And that is a wrap. La Ventana in 4 days. There was so much that I did not get to mention in this video, but please rest assured, when I publish my La Ventana travel guide on highfromashley.com, I will cover every possible topic and recommendation that I can possibly think of.
Alright, I know you thought this video was over, but it's not. There are 3 topics that I would like to cover very quickly, and I swear I have recorded this portion of the video like 3,100 times, and it's just not, they're not cool topics to talk about. They're not beautiful, they're not fancy. Trash, water consumption, and shark fishing. How do you make that good? What are the right words to use? I don't know, I'm struggling. So I'm just going to push through, and I'm try to explain it the best way I can. But number 1 and 2 kind of go hand in hand. Water and trash. Consume less water, produce less trash. That's the message. Anywhere in the world, not just La Ventana, even your hometown, consume less water, produce less trash. And I think home is a key word that I want to put a little emphasis on, because La Ventana is actually made up of 3 small towns: El Sargento, El Teso, and La Ventana. Together, the population is less than 2,000. So, for example, kite surfing, that season runs from November through March. During that 4-month period, about 60,000 visitors come through. 60,000. As you can imagine, less than 2,000 people, their town is not designed to produce enough water or take care of all of the trash produced from that. So, as you are traveling around the world, remember you are a guest in somebody's home. For me personally, when I lean into that, I ask myself, okay, if I buy this, who's going to have to take care of this when I leave? Is there a better option for me? And I will seek out that better option, even if it takes me 10 minutes longer. Because at the end of the day, I do not want to burden a local community with my choice to travel. So yeah, I'm going to just cut that off there. I don't want to be like lecturing you for days on water consumption and trash production. We all know there are ways to improve, even for myself. Moving on to the shark fishing. This is a really difficult topic for me to cover because I love the ocean and I love sharks. So I'm just going to very briefly go over some history and why it's happening. So Baja is a peninsula. It is mainly made up of desert and mountain. They don't have cattle, ranches, turkey, chicken farms, nothing like that. The sea is their resource. So historically, every single town in Baja is a small fishing town. They fish for their family and to feed their community. That is sustainable. We know that. Over the years, obviously, as populations grow, commercial fishing, sport fishing, and the shark fin trade. All three of those are largely available in Mexico. Mexico is actually one of the largest exporters of shark fin, and Chinese cartel are involved. It's not pretty, so it's not a beautiful topic to discuss, but it's happening. So why is it happening in Mexico? Well, it is legally allowed 9 months out of the year. So shark fishing is legally allowed most of the year. From May, June, and July, it is illegal. They call it like the 3 months of peace, which I find is kind of a joke because sharks are pregnant for like 12 months. So the 3 months of peace, May, June, and July, they put it in place to allow sharks to mate. And yes, we know they generally mate during these months, but as I mentioned, they're pregnant for 12 months. So, okay, cool, you're allowed to get pregnant, but like we might kill you while you're pregnant. That somehow seems like terribly worse. So it's legally allowed, and obviously some people are forced to fish sharks. It's not something they necessarily want to do. And I think it's a touchy subject for a lot of people because I think a lot of society would immediately jump and say, oh, shark fisherman, evil, terrible monster, bad person, do something else, blah, 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 whatever. But these men are just doing what every single man and woman in the entire world do every single day. They are doing what they know how to do to provide for their family. That's it. Some of these fishermen are 5th, 6th generation fishermen. That's all they know how to do. So, as I mentioned, we have commercial fishing, sport fishing, shark fin trade. Over the last 5 decades, those have been growing. Yes, we know that, yeah? And then we have ocean tourism. It has been growing in the last decade greatly. I mean, scuba diving has been around for a long time, but with the, I don't want to say explosion of freediving, but freediving has really become a cool thing to do. And I think that's largely due to the power of social media, photo and video. Everybody is watching these videos of people swimming with whales and going, oh, I want to do that. And they go do that. So ocean tourism, thriving. Growing. We know that sharks are worth more alive than dead. Places all around the world are proving that. So, La Ventana specifically, it's a difficult situation, I think, because this is a very small town. Less than 2,000 people, right? La Paz is 40 minutes away, 250,000 people. Cabo is 2 hours away, 200,000 people. They are like thriving for sport fishing, any type of ocean safari that you can imagine, scuba diving, free diving, all of that stuff. La Ventana is just this little town, but it's where it's where a lot of the marine life are. So La Ventana is amazing because you have this small community and they're coming together. Shark fishermen, guides, captains, they're all coming together and they're trying to figure out how they can do better, how they can treat the marine life better, how they can be better business owners, how they can be leaders, and how they can provide better experiences for people like me that want to travel and see the marine life. And that is incredible. It is so rare to find places in the world where people are voluntarily coming together. They're not waiting on the government to come and fix their problems or do any of that stuff. This is a small community. This is their home, and they are proud to show you their home. And the success of the ocean tourism is very important because all of the captains used to be shark fishermen. So when you are going to La Ventana and you are going out with Baja Wild Encounters or Agua Salada, or going with Alex from Cabo for Apex Ocean Divers or Uncharted Expeditions, those are all the 4 companies I recommend. All of those companies, their captains used to be shark fishermen. For me, this is one of the most rewarding experiences in my life, traveling around the world. And I don't want to get overly emotional about this, but every single person has so much power. If you have $1, you have power. For me, paying for these ocean experiences, I know that I am making a difference in somebody else's life. Alright, sorry about that. So some new camping neighbors arrived, but one lady has a margarita sticker on the back of her windshield, so I think there'll be some good neighbors. So I'm just going to try to wrap this up. For me, one of the most rewarding things in the entire world is traveling, paying for experiences that directly impact somebody's life. I think that's a really powerful thing. It's inspiring, it's energizing. I cannot advocate enough for going out with these ocean safari companies, financially supporting them, financially impacting these captains' lives who had the courage to change their livelihood from shark fishing to ocean tourism. It doesn't just stop with changing the lives of the shark fishermen. You are providing money to their family, better education for their son, for their daughter, better quality of life, and it doesn't end at their household. It is a ripple effect into every corner of the community. Everybody wins. Changing lives, saving sharks, I think that is a very cool thing to be doing. So that is that. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. And Porter and I are going to be truck tent camping from Cabo to California, trying to find the best free remote camping sites that we can. And yeah, hope you enjoyed watching. Please subscribe, leave a comment, and we will catch you on the next video. Cabo to California, Porter and I. What do you think, bud? See you!